What is Disney doing? Not too long ago, Disney announced its plans to invest $60 billion into its parks and experiences division over the next decade. Fast forward to August 2024, Disney presented the Experiences Showcase at its latest D23 fan event, and oh boy, Disney made some announcements for its parks. Disney's parks all over the globe are changing, and I, like many theme park fans, have thoughts. The past few D23 announcements have been underwhelming. Some announcements never came to fruition, and some announcements weren't even announcements, just hints at what they might do. But Josh D'Amaro, Disney's chairman of Parks, Experiences, and Products, assured this year's announcements were all real. These projects have budgets and construction plans in place. Disney was not playing around. Some fans are hyped about the announcements, some fans are bummed, and some fans have a mix of emotions. So what is Disney doing? Does Disney value their parks like the fans do? Let's talk about these announcements. Here are my park perspectives. Every Disney park has its own identity. Magic Kingdom and Epcot, for example, are two drastically different parks with unique themes and purposes. It matters which franchise goes into which park to keep that theme going. Surely, Disney knows that, admittedly better than us fans do, but some of the upcoming plans might imply otherwise. Let's look into it. Animal Kingdom in Orlando is a very distinct Disney park, focusing on wildlife and conservation. For the park's entire 25-plus year history, the theme of dinosaurs has been a part of that identity. However, that will soon change after the recent announcement of a new land replacing Dinoland USA, Tropical Americas. If the rest of Animal Kingdom is any indicator, Tropical Americas will definitely be a gorgeous, artistic land full of culture. You could probably spend your entire Disney vacation in this land and still not have time to enjoy every tiny detail put into it. That's the kind of park Animal Kingdom is. Tropical Americas will take place in a beautifully lived-in village, which, like its predecessor Dinoland USA, will have a rich backstory. This new land not only will take the place of dinosaurs at Animal Kingdom, but will also introduce new stories to the park. The land will have a new carousel with nicely crafted figures based on Disney characters. The ride has a cute little backstory about a woodcarver in the village. It's a fitting way to get more classic characters into Animal Kingdom, making it feel a little more like a true Disney park sprinkled with some pixie dust. The concept art shows some characters from franchises like The Lion King, The Jungle Book, Aladdin, and Winnie the Pooh, just to name a few. This looks like a huge improvement over Triceratops Spin. Sorry to all the Triceratops Spin fans. And I love how it's covered, yay to all the Shade fans. But this carousel is just a complimentary ride, only a small part of Tropical Americas. One of Disney's biggest theatrical hits as of late, Encanto, is finally getting a ride. That's adding some much needed capacity to the park, and with a ride that looks fun for the whole family. To fit the theme of Animal Kingdom, the new Encanto ride won't be a direct retelling of the movie. It'll instead follow Antonio and his special gift of connecting with animals. It's kind of like a sequel or spin-off of the movie. While Encanto had some animals in it, the movie was more about family. But being in Animal Kingdom, Disney shifted that tone primarily to animals. I'm sure the tone of Encanto will still seep through. Hopefully this direction won't be disappointing for fans of the movie. They may see an Encanto ride and just take it at face value, expecting something straightforward. When people think of Encanto, they think of moments like We Don't Talk About Bruno, which possibly won't even be in the ride. The main beats of that movie aren't exactly in the spirit of Antonio and the whole Animal Kingdom approach. But who's to say for sure? It's all speculation at this point. I don't think it's necessarily an issue, but just something to mention. Still, maybe it's a little bit of a stretch to put Encanto in Animal Kingdom, but Encanto is Encanto. This is a win for fans of the movie, and there are a lot of fans of this movie. This ride for this movie is obviously a good idea. Imagineers seem to be bridging the gap between Encanto and Animal Kingdom, and they're trying that too with this next announcement, Indiana Jones replacing Dinosaur. Originally known as Countdown to Extinction, ironically, Dinosaur was an opening day attraction at Animal Kingdom. It represented an important part of Animal Kingdom's purpose by giving representation to a huge extinct part of wildlife and ancient natural history. It was a thrilling adventure that, if you read into it, had a message about mankind's responsibility and impact on our natural world. Indiana Jones, on the other hand, is about archaeology, the study of human history and artifacts. Not to mention, he hates snakes. Given that, maybe Indy isn't the best fit for a park centered around wildlife and conservation, but Dinosaur is a near copy of Indiana Jones' Adventure at Disneyland Park. It's convenient to swap out Dino for Indy, despite its theme. Or at least that's how Disney probably sees it. As parkgoers, it was special having two different versions of the ride on two coasts. If you wanted to ride Indiana Jones, you had to go to Anaheim. If you wanted to ride Dinosaur, you had to go to Orlando. Luckily, Indiana Jones at Animal Kingdom won't be an exact copy of the existing Disneyland ride. Disney is taking a new approach with it like they are with Encanto. At Animal Kingdom, Indiana Jones will be a new adventure into a pristine Mayan temple with a legendary creature inside. The story, while not the typical Indiana Jones type of adventure, feels like a middle ground of putting a more popular franchise in that venue. Because, let's face it, the Dinosaur movie is not among Disney's most iconic films, even though the ride kinda carried Animal Kingdom during a time when the park had a very light ride lineup. But on the contrary, Indiana Jones is an aging franchise. Maybe it'll be a lateral move, but maybe the facelift will be a smash success. We'll just have to wait and see. I wish they could have somehow kept Dinosaur in all this, but it's out of my control. Dinoland always felt a little underbaked, like a budget-friendly version of what the land could have been. Aside from its backstory, the land wasn't up to the grand standards of the rest of the park. Its replacement, Tropical Americas, will fix that while also preserving Animal Kingdom's greater message to some extent, just without dinosaurs, which I personally believe are essential to the park. Maybe they could have found a better franchise to add into Animal Kingdom. I remember years and years ago when The Lion King and The Jungle Book were rumored for this park. Those would have been incredible fits for Animal Kingdom, but Disney, I believe, is making Encanto and Indiana Jones work as best they can. I will give Disney credit with Tropical Americas. They're creating a more generalized area that will have tons of flexibility, unlike a Pandora type land that can only have Avatar attractions, or a Galaxy's Edge that can only have Star Wars. Tropical Americas has so many thematic possibilities and isn't overly boxed in. No word yet whether this land will have animal exhibits. Again, being in Animal Kingdom, it should, and I really hope it does. Construction will begin this fall, but will be done in phases, allowing Dinosaur to operate for the time being. Tropical Americas will open in 2027. Honestly, even though I'll sorely miss Dinosaur, even that is an understatement, this all seems great so far. I'm truly optimistic about these concepts and how they'll be integrated with Animal Kingdom's identity in mind. Let's move on to a park still searching for its identity, Disney California Adventure. California Adventure is getting a completely new Pandora land with attractions inspired by the Avatar sequel, The Way of Water, and future installments of the franchise. Pandora at Animal Kingdom, which is currently the franchise's only major theme park representation, has been a breathtaking smash success for Disney. It's quite possibly the best theme park land out there. Avatar at California Adventure has been mentioned for a little while now. This past announcement, however, revealed some info about a new Avatar boat ride described as a, quote, dynamic, intense, and emotional experience on a grand scale, unquote. The ride's concept art is reminiscent of the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Shanghai Disneyland, which uses a magnetic-based ride system that allows boats to rotate. The ride and entire land seem nothing short of amazing. But California Adventure, what is this place? Avatar is an odd fit for the park. Pandora obviously isn't in California. Why does it belong in California Adventure? The park opened in 2001 with the weird identity of a tacky snapshot of California in a theme park located in California. Less than a decade after it opened, Disney invested over $1 billion into the park, basically to backpedal on its head-scratching theme. California Adventure has since been used as a catch-all for whatever cool property Disney wants to put into a theme park. Pixar, Marvel, and now Avatar. But hey, more Avatar. Pandora was such an accomplishment the first time around. Let's see if Disney can do it again. Sivako. Speaking of California Adventure, that park is getting another boat ride, not just Avatar. Disney announced its first ever Coco ride. That movie has an unbelievable soundtrack and is so delightfully colorful. It has such an emotional draw too. This concept is incredible. Plus, Josh D'Amaro confirmed the ride will feature Disney's latest audio animatronics technology. We all know Disney at their best can knock it out of the park with stunning animatronics. It's good to see Disney going back to slow-moving boat rides with animatronics. I don't know of a single theme park fan who would have any issues with this. Disney and boat rides go together like peanut butter and jelly. And advanced audio animatronics, let Disney cook with this one. I guess the only thing to mention here is, how did California Adventure get a Coco boat ride before Epcot? This isn't me saying be fair to Florida, but it's worth bringing up. Coco has long been speculated to make its way into the Mexico Pavilion, but at the same time, Epcot has had so many nice additions recently. Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, and Journey of Water inspired by Moana. Forget about those seemingly cancelled projects. Real quick, thanks for watching. If you're enjoying so far, please consider liking this video and subscribing to Storybook Amusement. Back in the early days of Disney parks, the company had a much smaller library of stories and characters to choose from. They only had so many movies at that point. That's an oversimplified explanation of how we got great original theme park concepts like Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean, and Jungle Cruise, just to name a few. Nowadays, Disney has an enormous library of franchises to pull from, decades of new Disney stories, and the acquisition of existing properties. With a huge catalog of properties available, modern-day Disney has the blatant desire to force those intellectual properties into the parks. And that's sort of how we ended up here. Cars will be racing its way into Frontierland at Magic Kingdom. Yes, Cars in Frontierland. Lightning McQueen will be among covered wagons and runaway trains. As the great pioneers once said, ka-chow. It feels a bit out of place and could break the stepping back in time atmosphere of Frontierland. So why there? Josh D'Amaro tried to soften the blow with some corporate talk about how the American West is all about carving your own path and the future on the horizon, blah blah blah. Michael Hungen, who is Walt Disney World's portfolio executive producer for Walt Disney Imagineering, assured fans Disney understands the importance of Frontierland and the implication of introducing cars to that area. He mentioned, quote, "Anytime we touch Magic Kingdom, we recognize the massive responsibility that exists to get it right and tell stories that connect with our guest," unquote. Okay, well, let's take a look at what they're adding. This won't be the Radiator Springs you know from the movie or California Adventure. This will unveil new corners of Frontierland and, from the looks of it, will celebrate the natural beauty of the US. Frontierland, now with a bayou, covers a range of biomes and eras. Soon, it'll extend to a US national park type of scenery, similar to Grizzly Peak at California Adventure. Personally, I love that aesthetic and wish we saw more of it in the park. Thanks ET Adventure for instilling that love of pine trees in me. It's not the first thing Frontierland could have used, but it seems nice enough. Except this edition will significantly change Frontierland. To make room for cars, Disney announced conveniently after the event that Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island will close. This decision will drastically change the landscape of the park. Rivers of America is without a doubt a signature area of Magic Kingdom. It's more than an attraction as the waterfront strings together that whole corner of the park and adds mystique to its surrounding features like the Haunted Mansion. It features laid-back attractions, kinetic energy, and the timelessness of nature. It's a section that puts the park in theme park. Rivers of America adds a calming ambience. Ambience can't be measured, and that's why the decision to remove it feels very corporate. Is it really necessary? Disney was able to rework the Rivers of America in Disneyland to accommodate the addition of Galaxy's Edge. On the other hand, Magic Kingdom's waterway comes with unique challenges and logistical complications us fans probably have no idea about. It takes up a lot of real estate and is open only during certain operating hours. From a business perspective, Disney could make better use of that land with added capacity and, let's be honest, optimize it with retail opportunities. Ka-chow. Losing a classic part of a historic, beloved park isn't easy. Rivers of America is tradition. Magic Kingdom is losing part of its classic ambience, but the new area may be a positive addition with its rides and, I'm assuming, incredible quality. Is it a perfect idea on paper? Not necessarily. Putting cars in Frontierland is questionable at best. But hear me out. Disney makes incredible areas when they put their best foot forward. Just like the Tropical Americas concept, it seems like Imagineers have done a fine job making cars work in Frontierland by introducing new environments to discover. Look at how lush the concept art is. We know Disney can make incredibly detailed lands. Pandora, Galaxy's Edge, and this, on a smaller scale, might be another example. From what's shown here, the main attraction looks like it weaves in and out of the land, possibly making it a dynamic, scenic area with little nooks and crannies to explore. It looks like an easy area to fall in love with, plus it'll make the layout of that area more continuous, possibly fixing the dead end by Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. The main attraction seems incredible, described as a, quote, race through the mountains, climbing trails, and dodging geysers, unquote. In the concept art, it looks like it could be an off-road adventure too. And the secondary family attraction could be fun too. Parks could always use more family attractions. Yes, losing Rivers of America is a huge blow from a nostalgic perspective, and even today, theme parks are better off with chill areas. Losing that, combined with the initial shock of cars being slapped into Frontierland, it stings. But we can't gloss over how stunning this land looks. It's an apples to oranges comparison, but Cars worked in California Adventure. I say give it a chance to work here too. It's not some cheap overlay. Disney is surely putting a significant budget into this. Disney probably didn't make this decision lightly. Maybe I'm optimistic, but to me, they're probably leaving no stone unturned designing and planning this area. It'll be a massively expensive project. It's exciting. Combined with the next announcement I'll mention, this will be the largest expansion in Magic Kingdom's 50+ year history. Look out, Dark Universe. This has been a rumor for pretty much as long as anyone's been a theme park fan. Disney announced Villains Land is coming to Magic Kingdom. Finally! As of now, it's just a broad announcement with broad concept art. Very little details were shared. But the concept art nails the tone of a Villains Land. It's dark and foreboding, with a thorny roller coaster, jagged rockwork, and an overall ominous design. This is definitely a different take from the typical happy-go-lucky Disney approach with doom, gloom, and chaos. While Disney hasn't announced any individual attractions for this land yet, the concept art suggests a Maleficent roller coaster which may or may not be in the plans. It just gives you an idea of what could go in this land. It might include a more thrilling coaster that would nicely balance out Magic Kingdom, which already has a lot of family coasters. Overall, this is such a perfect fit for Magic Kingdom. It hits on the themes of fantasy and fairy tales in a fresh way by revisiting Disney's classic stories through a darker lens. It's about time. I just need to put it out there that we need to see Bill Cipher show up in this land. Sure, not realistic, not gonna happen, but I just had to shout out the ultimate Disney villain. Hey, at least they showed Yzma in the announcement. Villains Land is rumored to be what's beyond Big Thunder Mountain. My one nitpick as a fan is that this land, in my opinion, needs to be next to Fantasyland. If you're gonna build this land, it would be the perfect contrast to that area, almost like the dark side of Fantasyland. I don't care if they use the Storybook Circus space, maybe Liberty Square, or some neighboring area to Fantasyland. But no matter where it goes, finally! It's about time Disney pulled the lever on this. This idea has so many possibilities, it could honestly be its own theme park. On to a park that has long been pinned as Disney's worst theme park. Disney Adventure World, formerly Walt Disney Studios Park in Paris. The park has been undergoing massive and lengthy expansions with some recent Marvel, Pixar, and upcoming Frozen editions. Well, Disney isn't done with this place yet. The Lion King is coming to Paris in the form of a new area with a Splash Mountain style flume ride. Disney park goers can visit the Pride Lands, see Pride Rock in person, and relive some of the beloved moments and music from the movie. And the best part, Disneyland Paris confirmed it'll be based on the original animated Lion King. Finally! This movie is way too iconic to not have an attraction. The original is celebrating its 30th anniversary this year. After all this time, it's great we get to see one of Disney's best films in the parks. The 1994 version is the heart and soul of that franchise with such a vibrant telling of the story and one of Disney's catchiest soundtracks ever. As an American who loves Animal Kingdom and The Lion King, I'm really jealous this is headed to Paris instead of Orlando. This is a big deal, but I'm too much of a naive American to talk about it any further. Same with all the Marvel additions to Disney's international parks. Spider-Man is swinging over to Hong Kong Disneyland with what may be a Tower of Terror type ride. That's such an interesting new approach on this old ride system. I'm looking forward to how Disney will get creative and make a thrilling ride with Spidey's web-slinging powers using a potential drop system. How cool. And Spidey is headed to Shanghai too in what appears to be a Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind style coaster. Cosmic Rewind is easily one of the best coasters Disney has built in my experience. Spider-Man is such a fun character with his one-liners and not taking himself too seriously. That smooth, spinning ride system with Spidey is a recipe for a hit. I haven't had the privilege of visiting the international parks yet, and seeing these, I need to update my passport. Oh, while we're talking about Marvel, the somewhat underwhelming Avengers Campus at California Adventure will double in size with 2 new attractions. That land opened without a true e-ticket, especially considering the original e-ticket for the land was unfortunately shelved. The whole Disney and Marvel theme park situation has been sticky, with Universal essentially having the exclusive East Coast theme park rights to those characters. But have no fear, Avengers Infinity Defense looks like the Rise of the Resistance level ride Avengers Campus needed. Finally, the ride system looks suspiciously similar to the Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man at Islands of Adventure, which, hey, no complaints about that whatsoever. The more the merrier. It looks like the ride system from the new Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure in Tokyo, which I've heard great things about. Finally, Avengers Campus is getting a proper e-ticket Marvel ride. Avengers Campus is also getting a souped-up flat ride. It sounds like the ride system will be a part of the story, so it's always neat to see that kind of detail figured out. Disney is finally putting the major finishing touches on Avengers Campus. Onto one of the oldest Disney park rumors out there. Finally, it's coming true. They've dusted off the blueprints. A Monsters Inc. door roller coaster is making its way to Hollywood Studios. I say this from the bottom of my heart. Finally. Previously, the only major stateside Monsters Inc. ride was an overlay of Superstar Limo, basically to cover up what many considered as Disney's worst dark ride. The door coaster will be Disney's first ever suspended roller coaster, which is kind of hard to believe. This laugh-oriented attraction has been something fans have been screaming about for years. The door sequence in the original movie is perfect for a theme park attraction. The roller coaster will be part of a Monsters Inc. land that perfectly captures the whimsy and monstrosity of the movie. The concept art shows some oddball little details like cars with teeth, ice cream with eyeballs, and that sort of thing. The only detail Disney hasn't shared as of this recording is a pretty big one. Where? Where exactly in Hollywood Studios will the coaster go? Some fans have speculated it'll replace the animation courtyard area or possibly Rock and Roller Coaster. But there's also concern it'll replace the Muppets courtyard, home of Muppet Vision 3D. Drew Taylor of The Wrap wrote a great article on this topic, which you should check out if you'd like to know more. But Muppet Vision 3D is a comfort attraction for many lovers and dreamers. Not only that, that, but it was the final project the late Jim Henson ever worked on. This may be an unpopular opinion, but I personally wouldn't be offended if Disney relocated Muppet Vision to a new venue. As pleasant as the Muppets Courtyard is, I think Disney could do a lot better with the Muppets. Maybe this is an opportunity to go all out with them. Disney could retain the show, but also make progress with the Monsters Inc. coaster. Maybe that's wishful thinking. Muppet Vision is an important attraction and was one of my earliest introductions to the Muppet characters. I'll leave it at that, but I'll say this about the Monsters Inc. coaster. Finally! And also at the event, finally, Joe Rohde was honored as a Disney legend. A few other rapid-fire announcements: Walt Disney is being Abraham Lincolned, some parks are getting new nighttime entertainment, Smuggler's Run is getting a new Mandalorian mission, and some parks are getting new lounges. Oh, and here's what wasn't mentioned at D23. Anything for Disneyland's Tomorrowland. That area has been limping along for decades after a lackluster refurbishment. Tomorrow must really mean tomorrow. They'll get to it tomorrow. So, what is Disney doing? Do they care about the parks the way fans do? It seems like, from a fan's perspective, Disney has to balance the legacy of its parks while pushing forward for a new generation. It can be frustrating for us as fans. We get vague descriptions, we get little to no info about where a new ride is going, and more importantly, what it might replace. We see Disney carelessly shoving corporate intellectual properties anywhere into their parks, but maybe they're making use of all the stories we've grown to love over the years, and creating new spaces that might be the reason a future generation will fall in love with these parks we care so much about. Listen, I'm not here to defend Disney. They're closing beloved areas like Rivers of America and possibly the Muppets Courtyard. Those replacements better be worth it. And whether or not you think these attractions are a good fit, new attractions are almost always a good thing. And have you noticed anything about these announcements? No clones. No two attractions announced were repeats of something we've already seen. Not like Tron Light Cycle Run in Shanghai being directly cloned from Magic Kingdom. We could have easily seen cars from Anaheim plopped into Frontierland. We could have easily seen Animal Kingdom's Pandora Land plopped into California Adventure without any further thought, but everything is fresh. Universal is building a whole new theme park in Orlando, and Disney is staying on top of their game. Change can be exciting. Time will tell if these attractions will be good or not. I just hope we could ride them without worrying about boarding groups or an upcharge. Other than that, Disney just gave us a lot of reasons to be optimistic about where the parks are headed. How about you? What do you think about Disney's recent announcements? Thanks for watching, and special thanks to the Storybook Amusement patrons for making videos like this possible. Shout out to the producer credits, Parallel Discover, and Nick E. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you'd like to see more. For exclusive content, join the Storybook Amusement Patreon today for as little as $1 per month. Thanks everyone for watching.